do it.
Hello and welcome to the Heresy Lodge. I'm your host, Dylan Cooper, the constant host over here.
Gavin Franklin.
And guys, we are here this week to review the highly coveted, the book we could not fucking wait to read, Mortis.
Fucking finally. I know.
Man, I saw the book on your shelf because I could not physically pick up the book to buy it off the shelf. And saw how big it was. Like, damn, that's going to be a great read.
It's fucking huge. I seriously wonder, like, you look at the page numbers, and there's not as many pages as Vengeful Spirit. I feel like this was longer than Vengeful Spirit. It has to be.
Well, Vengeful Spirit is the accumulation of 35 short stories.
This is true. But I'm just like a little mind blown on how long. Like, this took us a month to read. It was the longest read by far, and it was a doozy.
And I still finished it. I still have not finished Angel Exterminatus.
That's true. That's true. But we're here. We made it. And we're going to truck our way through. We're getting there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 books after this.
Yep. Garo's next should be a short one. Nice and easy.
Yes. Excited for that. And Warhawk. But
yes,
back to
that's
Mortis.
the one I'm really pumped for. I don't give a Warhawk and the 180B rights. Those are what I'm excited for.
Echoes of Eternity.
That is it. All right. Before we hop into the review, housekeeping, check us out on Discord. We got movie nights going. We got hobby time going. We got there's a monthly book club as well that is not centered around Warhammer books. Check it out. Find that pinned to our Twitter at Heresy Lodge. Email us at theherесylodge@gmail.com. Check out our YouTube at the Heresy Lodge.
We do. I am.
We got the merch. Gavin's wearing it. We got sweatshirts. We got t-shirts. We got pint glasses. We have hats. We have stickers.
I'm not gonna lie. The sweatshirts are incredibly comfortable.
They are very cozy. I really like. I don't have a hoodie. I just have the regular sweatshirt, and it's real nice. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I've got the hoodie, and I gotta say, like, the interior of the hoodie, whatever it is made out of, I'm assuming cloth.
No, man, it is like
Great product.
it's wool from sheep that have only ever been grass fed. There is no preservatives in anything that those sheep ate. No chemicals on the grass. Pure not handcrafted, earth grown grass. This was hand watered grass. All right, that's how important these sheeps were. People were walking around with their fucking watering cans, watering the grass for these fucking sheep to produce this quality of wool.
I feel like we need a disclaimer.
Disclaimer: everything we say is bullshit.
We have absolutely no idea the quality of the sheep that were raised to produce this wool.
It's kind of like they're actually like the Wagyu steaks, like the real Wagyu. Like they actually give you like the certificate saying like its name, where it's from, fucking what it ate for every meal for the last 3 years.
None of this is real. Oh, geez. So, what are you drinking today, sir?
You know, spooky season is upon us, so I'm sticking with the stuff. I am drinking the Howling Grounds Pumpkin Ale.
Howling Grounds.
Howling Grounds. My wife was given this for her birthday. Ironic that I took it. I also was kind of got in trouble for taking it, but here we are. This is brewed and canned by Joseph's Brow Brewing Co. in San Jose, California. I was close to there recently.
Nice.
Here's the can. Got some pumpkins on there. They're all howling. Nifty. It's pretty good. It's not like super. What's the word? It's spicy. Like, you know, like a lot of like
those
pumpkin ales are like spiced. It's not that bad. It's pretty good. You go, sir. I need to know what you're drinking.
You know what I'm drinking?
No, I said I need to know. It's got a nice caramel color there.
American Amber Lager from my Advent calendars. My goal is to get through the Advent beers before December 1st, because then I will get another Advent beer that I actually have to drink. um, and it's pretty good. It's also from Minhas.
Minhos.
These beers have been like pretty good, but it makes me incredibly suspicious of Minhas. Like, how many beers can you produce that are of quality volume? Like, what is what does their facilities look like? Is really concerning to me because like every single one of these beers has been from Minhas Brewing. That sounds familiar though. Have you heard of Minhas?
I haven't, but I almost wonder if so in wine, the winery business, I found out that a lot of wineries don't actually make their own wine. They actually buy the wine from California wineries and rebrand it. And there's like some like certain thing on the label that's like supposed to be like the giveaway. I don't remember what it is.
Well, they
So I
buy their
wonder if
grapes.
beer's that way too. No.
Typically,
The actual wine.
really?
Yeah, apparently Mallow Winery here in Whiteland, Indiana. They buy most of their wine. There's only a few that they actually make themselves.
Strange. Yeah, I'm looking at Minhas and like it's in Wisconsin, which is like fair enough, makes sense to me. But it's like there's not really like a brewery. Like it's a facility. So that's interesting.
Mental facility, of course.
Yes, mental facility.
You know what I really want to do? I really want to go to the Brew Dog Beer Hotel in Ohio.
Yeah, that would be cool. I want to do so many things. I would love to go to Milwaukee again.
Milwaukee's cool. There's a lot of breweries there.
Yeah, I'd love to go for the breweries because last time we
Dude,
were
the
there,
Miller Lite Brewery is the coolest fucking brewery.
really.
Yeah, and it's in Milwaukee. It's an entire fucking street of buildings. Like they have a hotel, they have a cavern because like during like when they first were like made, they had these giant caverns that held ice in order to keep the beer cold.
Hmm,
It's really fucking cool.
that is cool. Yeah, I would love to go to Milwaukee to do a brewery tour. Instead of just, going to the clubs.
Yeah, we did do that.
Okay, so Mortis.
Mortis.
We really ripped into this book in the preview.
I don't know.
And
We had a shining moment in the preview, I thought.
yeah, the double dildo.
The dildo flailed titan.
You do kind of get that feeling. They keep talking about like, how do you pronounce Desiris or whatever it is?
Yeah, Desi Iri, something like that. Yeah.
However you pronounce it, like
Iri.
main warlord Titan from Mortis, right?
Yeah,
Like
which is the one that we were introduced to in Horus Rising.
yeah, we actually know who pilots that one, and we don't even get to see him.
Yeah, which is some bullshit.
Yeah, but like every single time there's a battle, it's like they'll like blow up an entire ridge line, like shoot like warp weapons, like entire continents are exploding, and then like Desiris just walks out of the smoke and it's like
He has more bones on him now.
that exact same scene happens like 5 times in this book. It's like, oh,
Yeah, I think like what John did was like he just like went over to one of his other pages. He highlighted Control C, went back to the pages on, and he hit Control V and just continued on.
so I did not. I'm not going to say I didn't read, but I speed read. Is that how you say it? Speed read.
Bed Red, probably.
What is
A
the
speed reader.
past?
I don't know.
I utilize speed reading
Yeah, I audibled this entire book. I think I read
to
2 whole chapters.
get through the Titan battles. Titan battles were less interesting to me.
The whole Titan storyline wasn't good.
Let me ask you some questions. The question about the Titan storyline, because I have questions about all the
I might not have any
storylines.
answers, but I'll try.
Okay, I'm trying to make sure I understand what happened here. At basically the premise is like they need the Titans to go and fight against the Titans that are coming against the wall. And some of the Titans from Titan Death refused to fight, like some of the Legios, because they wanted to protect their engines.
Yeah.
And then like the rest of them go out and fight, and they're fighting Titans that are resurrected Titans from the people that died at Beta Gammon, right?
I think.
Which is like fucking stupid. That's so
Agreed.
stupid. Like how stupidly OP of a concept that is.
Yep.
And then Esha Mohani, the Great Mother. I'm trying to understand how this works, so bear with me here. The Adeptus Mechanicus talk person, what Verothiel or whatever her name is, she's like the spokesperson for the Fabricator General, because the Fabricator General is just fucking
He's too
jacking off
busy.
in a chamber somewhere.
He's too busy, man.
He's fucking a toaster and a hallway, and that is doing he's doing the Omniscience work.
Amen.
So she goes, like, you guys need to form a new Titan Legion. So the Great Mother creates a new Titan Legion of the like destroyed Titans, Titan Legios.
I guess. Is that
Okay.
what's happened?
Does she die?
I was really confused because at one point she like talks to her daughter, like brings her daughter in.
Yeah, her daughter is like out hunting with this like night house that are supposed to be like characters that we've never met, but it's like a group of knights.
Yep.
And like the Great Mother comes out, she's like, I am no longer Legio Solar. You are the Legio now. Well, whatever. So she's like, the Great Mother's like, I'm creating a new Legio. So like now Legio Solaria is like probably like 3 Warhound Titans at this point.
Some Arbingers.
Yeah. So I'm incredibly confused on like who dies at the end of the Titan battle, because like what it seems like to me is like Mortis breached the walls.
Yep.
But like all of these characters from especially the Legio Solaria characters and this new Night House we're introduced to, like I never saw them die.
Yeah. All we saw was them like randomly like fighting and then being like, well, where's Mortis? Because I thought we were fighting Mortis already. And like, no, that wasn't Mortis. Mortis is still coming there.
Well, that was early on.
Yeah.
At one point in time, like Legio Ignatum or whatever the fuck they're called, like the good guy Legio, they die. And you get this like moment where Legio Solaria, the daughter's like, we have to return to the wall. And that's it. Like that's the last time I remember in the book, like seeing
It
them.
probably got adopted by the Imperial Fist and is now just on the wall forever.
Also, the Imperial Fist at one time are like jet packing onto these Titans and like putting bombs on them. Do you remember this? It was so silly.
A lot of that I spaced out.
They were like planting bombs on the Titans and then like jet packing away. I'm like, wow, how effective. Like, let's just do that. Like,
You know what they should have done? Send out Sanguinius.
Yeah, like
with a stick. That's all I need. Just fucking poke him in the eye and boom, boom, boom. Mortis dies. The whole thing.
There was also this like really weird. I totally understand. Like, writing battles is complicated and strategy is complicated, but like it just takes so little effort to read this and be like, that's kind of a stupid idea. Like Rogel Dorn landing on the walls and being like, we can't use our Titan killing guns to shoot at the Titans because the Titans could shoot at the guns and they have power packs on them, so it would blow up the wall. I'm like, that seems like a pretty big fucking weakness of your guns. Like maybe you should put them on the wall. Like what? Why even have them there? Like what's the fucking point of any of this?
Yeah.
Like they stop firing their guns for strategic purposes. I'm like, I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me. They still got to the wall, so you might as well have a few more dead Titans at the end of the day. That's my thought. I don't know.
I agree. Also, like the likelihood of the wall breaching by you not using those guns is probably higher then if they get a super lucky shot from hundreds of kilometers away.
Yeah, like 50 kilometers. That's a long distance.
I mean, maybe these guns are as big as a Titan. I mean, I don't know the Titan scale anymore, right? The Titan could be the size of a human. It could be the size of 5 continents. I don't know anymore. But I feel like the likelihood of the gun being smaller is probably pretty good.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite scenes from this, I was just like laughing. It's like, that's so stupid. Well, one of the Psy Titans, they bring in the Psy Titans. It's
A
like the
side
big
Titan.
moment. Here comes the Psy Titans. And they have these like, all the Titans have these like missiles that basically like bring the like, they're like warp bombs. They bring the warp into reality or whatever it is, and it fucks people up or whatever. And one of the Psy Titans are like super powerful weapons, by the way. Like they're insane weapons. They never bring this shit out. But at this battle, they're like, fuck it. One of the Psy Titans tells one of the other Titans, fire your warp missile there. He's like, yeah, but we'll miss the Titan. He's like, that's fine. That's okay. So he fires it, misses the Titan, and then the Psy Titan like walks through the warp and comes out of that portal and like smacks the other Titan in the face. I'm like, how fucking petty of a Psy Titan pilot to be like, don't use your missiles to blow that Titan up. Use your missiles to allow me to walk closer to him so I can slap him in the face.
Pretty much.
Like, I'll fucking show that guy.
I
Like,
also really liked how like
missiles.
so we remember like when the Psy Titans were introduced in that random fucking short story, there was like this like super like secretive society. Like
Yeah.
when they're like introduced in this book, it's like there's like one random guy and
Yeah.
he like walks up, he's like, I have clearance. Like, what? It's one of them. You gotta get the Roko Dorn. And Dorn's like, oh yeah, go for it.
There's this moment where he's like, I've been talking to the Emperor. And I'm like, really? Like,
Apparently no one else has. Good for you.
like
Has he built a wall around the door yet? Because they could really use some help.
that's so weird. Out of all the people in the Imperium, like this dude's the guy because he walks on a Psy Titan. Is so fucking petty. He's like, let me step through the portal to slap the machine. Like, we can just use the gun to blow him up. No, we're not going to do that.
I have magic bullets.
Use the gun to teleport me to him so I can punch him to death. Sure, whatever. So that's the Titan battles. I don't know whether or not Legio Solaria is still alive. I'm assuming we will never hear about them ever again, only because Games Workshop wants you to buy and paint Titans like Legio Solaria.
Yeah, that's true.
Bit of a bummer.
Which storyline you want to hit next? Do you want to go?
Let's go do an easy one. Let's do
Of course,
Shiban.
Wayne. That's a quick and easy one.
Course. Oh, we'll do Course Wayne. Course Wayne's storyline confuses the fuck out of me.
What do you mean? You know, Course Wayne shows up. He's like, well, let's do something. I guess.
Can we?
Let's go after the Astronomicon, which I didn't realize was taken over.
But so let's take a step back real quick with Course Wayne. When's the last time? Okay. I don't even know if it's about the last time we saw Course Wayne. There was a story in Angels of Caliban about Course Wayne asking for reinforcements.
Yep.
How did that end up? Because I like based off of this story, I don't remember it well.
I really thought after like I'm pretty sure they just fucked off. Like I think he
Didn't give
sent
reinforcements.
someone for reinforcements. He himself didn't come, I don't think.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. I think you're right.
And that guy like brought Luther on, and then there was like this like weird like shooting gallery, and like Luther killed all of them.
Yeah, I didn't think they actually gave Course Wayne reinforcements.
Yeah, I didn't think so either.
But apparently they did.
Yeah, like 7 guys, maybe. I don't know.
I thought what happened was like Luther convinced a majority of the Dark Angels that came to ask for reinforcements to just fuck Course Wayne and stay at Caliban.
That would have made sense.
That's what I thought happened. And then they used that ship Like they're like, oh, we have like a Ingloria class frigate, but none of that mattered because they were building like super Death Stars apparently and saving Lehman Russ
Randomly.
like randomly across the galaxy. So um apparently, according to this story, and we may be entirely wrong, but like Corswain was reinforced by Lutherian, call them Lutherian Dark Angels
Yeah.
from Caliban. And like the main one is the psyker named Vathoriel or whatever it is. And Corswain convinced some ships that are just sitting there at Jupiter, which by the way, like none of this makes any sense. Like there's so many levels to the story that don't make sense. Like why these ships are just sitting there at Jupiter, how Corswain was able to translate with it, like we were pretty sure Porto Rabo in the Solar War like guarded the warp gates. So like how they were just
Well,
able to like,
Porto fucked off anyway.
but now he fucked off. But these guys came in at the end of the last book.
That's true.
So it's like
Yeah, the Dark Angels arrived, but it was only 7 of them.
it's only 7.
And somehow the guy with the teleporter still hasn't shown up. I still can't get over the fact that he has a fucking teleporter and he's just like going around fucking up random planets that no one gives a shit about.
Yeah. Like literally not making it to Terra at all. It's incredible. And
It's so fucking dumb. Like it would like I don't understand like why the authors wrote it this way. Like they should have really like talked about like the connection these legions had with their home planets, but instead they're like, dude, these guys fucking hate that planet. Like it's bullshit. They were treated like dog shit. Some of them already blew them up. Like, why do we care? Like, I don't understand like the Lion's purpose here. Like,
yeah.
like Sithonia. Like, we've never heard anything about Sithonia, the Sons of Horus planet, other than they're a bunch of fucking bandits.
I have no idea. Yeah, no, I agree. Like the Lion's like story arc. The Lion's story arc is one of the most garbage story arcs. He's like never grows as a character, always does stupid shit. Like every single thing he's done in the Heresy is like this dude's fucking stupid. Like a child could be a better Primarch than this person. So yeah, I have no idea what's going on with that. But Corswain's here, and he decides to leverage some power from this like random fleet to land some Dark Angels. Is it the Astronomicon or is it just
Astronomicon, which I thought is like right outside the capital?
Yeah, this is supposed to be like where the Astropaths are, right?
Yeah.
Which we've read about before in the Outcast Dead.
Yep.
So they land there and there's like a demon. Ooh.
Did you just see my light get brighter?
No?
Dude, my light just got super fucking bright by itself.
Weird.
Apparently, the Astronomicon is turned back on, and it is
There's
bright
a
as
demon.
fuck.
Talk about the demons. Right. It's a pleasure, demon.
Tell me more about the demons.
So this demon shows up. They describe him like a demon. I don't know. It's like 6 demons, and each of them has a certain body. It's like literally trying to read the Bible and understanding what angels look like. It's just way too much.
Yes.
Anyway, like the place is super fucking warpy. All the Astropaths are like, I don't know, like a part of the building now or something, and they're all fucked up as all the warp shit does. And Corswain kills the demon, and the Dark Angels get together, like, yeah, there's not enough power to like send a signal to the Lion, but Vathoriel's like, I'll figure it out. Vathoriel, the end of the book, gets fucking mugged in an alley by other Lutherian Dark Angels. Now, let me ask you this question. Someone reveals themselves like they walk up and the Lion's like they remove their hood, and Vathoriel's like, that person should have stayed on Caliban, and then he gets presumably killed by these Dark Angels. Is Luther at fucking Terra?
It can't be.
Who the fuck is it?
I don't know. Probably some random Joe Schmo that we've never heard of, because there's nothing like throwing in a random fucking character that no one's ever heard of. that's their thing, right? Like,
I'd be
let's like
so
make this up
pissed.
real quick.
It would be fucking badass if Luther's on Terra during the Siege of Terra. Like that would be so cool.
Honestly, I think it'd be hilarious. He's just like sitting like fucking around. He's like, I don't even have like I don't give a fuck who wins. Like fuck all you guys. You're all assholes. I just wanted Caliban to be free.
I would love like the funniest line that could possibly be delivered. Both of the funniest lines are definitely revolving around the lion, but the funniest line they could possibly deliver is like the lion gets to Terra, Luther's on Terra fighting, and like they win the battle. The lion is like, I'm gonna go back to Caliban to deal with Luther, and then takes off, and Luther's like standing in the crowd.
Honestly, that'd be amazing. Like Luther and like his like group of Dark Angels like they fucking win the heresy, right? And the lion shows up and does that and fucks off. And he's like, "Are you fucking kidding me right now?"
And Luther's like, what a fucking idiot. You guys wanted to follow that
That's
guy?
who you guys want to be the Primarch? Come on.
He's like, I
I
would
did not raise that guy to be this way, okay?
even funnier line would be like, I gotta go find Conrad. I mean Luther. It's the second time he's abandoned a planet where the person he's hunting down is on the planet that he's leaving. Oh my gosh. So who the fuck would it be? It's definitely, I don't think it's Zahariel.
No, because Zahariel is now the whatchamacallit, right?
He's the
Yeah, what's that word?
um oh my
There's a whole
gosh.
fucking book that just came out recently, like the last like 6 months.
But he can't, that person can't take their like cloak off.
Cypher.
So yeah, they can't show their face.
Yeah, but it's Zahariel.
Huh?
But it's Zahariel. Not
But
on
they
the
can't,
Terra, but Cypher.
they can't show their face. I mean, I know it's Zahariel, so like what I'm saying is it doesn't make sense that it's
Yeah.
him because at the end of this he like takes off his hood.
Well, I mean, what else is he gonna do? Hide his face forever?
Yeah, I mean that's what they're supposed to do. Like
Fucking
no one is
stupid.
supposed to know that Cypher is Zahariel. They just call him Cypher. I agree. It is stupid. I like this book left me with more questions.
I still don't even understand what the point of us, what the Cypher is like, why they're so fucking important. Like your fucking like night thing, like is dead.
I don't understand either. Just like I don't understand like what the goals of Lutherian Dark Angels are. I don't understand it. Like just to protect Caliban, like why are they on Terra? And why do they give a fuck that this dude just tried to signal the lion to Terra? And it's very obvious that like they fall into chaos because they're like obviously it seems like they're twisted by Zinch, is what it seems like based off of the writing.
Oh, it's a fucking worm, okay? Worms and snakes are not the same, Gavin.
Well, it was like their shadows were like twisted birds. I'm like, okay.
They all just are. We're
Yeah.
angels.
Like pretty much the only confirmation that you really get that the Dark Angels have really fallen to chaos is like this one scene in this hallway during the Siege of Terra for
Well, I
Mortis.
mean, you have Luther being all like souped up on like psychic shit. I guess you could assume that's chaos.
Yeah. I mean that's true.
Like,
I just
shows up with like a bunch of tattoos and like shooting lightning out of his hands. I mean, that's a little weird.
that's pretty fucking chaosy, bro. I wouldn't say that seems
I
like
don't want to stereotype because tattoos can be cool, but I don't know. It's a little weird.
stereotyping, but kind of seems like chaos to me, man. Where did those tattoos come from? Like, you just walked into that room and you walked out. Like, how quickly?
There's
did
no
you
one else in the
tattoo
room.
yourself?
It's even weirder. There's no ink. Go, I sucked the ink out of the books and then poured it into my skin.
Oh
What
my
the
god!
fuck? I used a straw.
Why did you need to do that? You needed to do all that?
I needed to remember the words. Words have power.
So that's that story. Let's go to Shiban. Shiban.
Everyone says like Shiban's story was like so good. And it's like Shiban didn't fucking do anything this whole book.
Thank
Besides
you.
to walk.
I'm so glad you're
Other than
saying that.
he's just a badass person. Like he did nothing in this book. His story ended up being nothing at the end.
Yeah.
Like it
I
was
was
just
waiting for him to like,
Shiban walking.
yeah, I was waiting for him to do something. At the end, I was just like, oh, so this entire book was like literally him walking from the Eternity Spaceport to the wall. Like that was his story. Like he found a dude who had a baby. The dude died. The baby didn't. Shaban almost died like 6 times. He kept
He
talking to
carried the
Yusugi.
guy.
Yeah, that's fucking it. Like there's nothing else to the story.
Yeah. I mean it sucked for Shaban. And I mean it was cool like seeing like he was seeing like Yasugi and Jabal like hallucinating like crazy. Like that was cool. But really, all he did this whole story was fucking walk. Which is
So
fine, I
true.
guess, but it's not much.
He was literally walking through a desert. Like that was like in the prequel, you were like, "Oh yeah, the Shaban story is great," and I'm like, "He's literally walking through a desert. Like what is this?" And then that's ended up being all it was.
I was assuming like because train wreck was messaging me. He was like, oh, like people like have theories about the baby and stuff, and I was like, oh, like maybe like a name gets revealed or something to like make people think that, but you don't even get that. It's just like, you want me to take the baby? And he's like, no, I take baby. It's like, okay.
It's so funny because he meets Katsumaru or whatever his name is,
Katsuhira.
Katahira. That's exactly what happens. Like, bro, you're pretty fucked up. You need some help? No.
I keep walking.
Which
He's like, I'm not done walking.
yeah, I keep going.
No backward step, only forward.
Katahira's storyline. It's funny that I did not know where the fuck Katahira was until the very end when Shaban showed up.
I had no idea either.
Yeah, I was like, oh, so he's there. That I
I
guess
didn't
that
really get Katsuhira's like part in this book at all.
he was fighting somewhere on Terra in front of a wall, and there were blood angels there. The blood angel died, and Katahira became like a leader. That's his story. That's literally what happened. Like after the blood angel died, the blood angel makes him like the leader of the group. Like that's it.
Why do we not have him like still trying to figure out like where that one guy was that is
The Alpha Legion guy.
yeah.
Yeah, that was way more interesting. That was super interesting.
Yeah, like why is he not trying to like figure that out? Instead, he's just like, well, I'm still fucking just like kind of here.
Just shooting.
Yeah, which is fine, but like that's like something that John French. No, it wasn't John French that wrote that one. That was Gav Thorpe, right? Or no, Guy Haley. It was Guy Haley who wrote that
Yeah,
one.
Guy Haley. Beautiful book.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
very good. Lost the Dam should be reread by people because it's really good. Underrated.
Yeah, I agree.
But like we have like an established storyline of like him like kind of seeing like the end of that story of like, whoa, like I took like a different name, like this is weird. And instead he's like, well, I'm like fighting at this random wall, and now like here I am.
Yeah. The Katahira's story to me should be like a human miraculously surviving through every stage of the Horus Heresy.
Yeah.
What we actually got is like a human miraculously surviving the first stage of the siege and then just randomly coming up and shooting things past the wall, not surviving like anything else. Like it would have been so cool to actually see him on the Mercury wall, like destroying Titans and just being like amazed at the sheer scale of what he was doing. Like that would have been a way more interesting story, in my opinion, and probably would have made like think about how much more interesting the Titan storyline would be if during the Titan battle chapters you had a Katahira point of view of him trying to blow up Titans with a gun and watching people commit suicide because of warp shit. Like that would have been way
I
more
mean,
interesting.
really, what I really want to see from Katsuhira is I really want to see PTSD, because this
Mhm.
is not some dude that was a fucking soldier. This was a dude that was dragged into like doing this and like seeing all kinds of fucked up shit, seeing a bunch of people die, fucking seeing a whole ass like conspiracy happening,
Mhm.
and instead they just like randomly use him at random points throughout all these fucking books, and it's just like, yes, he's an established character, so we're gonna throw his name in it. I want his actual story to happen. Like, I
Yeah.
don't care about him. Like, sure, he can end up being like the fucking general of the Astro Militarium at the end. Like, I don't care. I want to see like,
This story.
yes, I want him like the experience, like crazy shit. Like, I want him to be like, I want him to kind of be a little fucked up, which is weird to say, but I mean, if a human seeing demigods basically fighting and killing each other, demons coming out and like killing like people he knows, like seeing them, like
Yeah.
he should be fucked up.
I would have loved to have seen them use him as like the main POV throughout a majority of the. I would have loved that. I would have been like,
I
fuck yeah,
agree.
this is great. But didn't work out. Two more storylines left, and I'm gonna need another beer for these two because they confused the fuck out of me.
I want to do Old's last. I
Okay,
think.
give me 1 second.
All right, that's fine. Mortis is it's a book. It is definitely a book. I do not
All right, I
recommend
made
it.
it. The good thing about living in a small apartment is the desk to fridge walk time is very
Well,
small.
what you gotta do is you gotta multiply your fridges. Gotta have the first world problems like I have, where you have multiple fridges in your house now.
I've got a wine fridge.
I got one of those too.
I've got so you've got 2.25.
2
2.25
point.
fridge notes.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty small wine cooler, but yeah.
I am now drinking. Is this also Minhas? It is. God, this is gonna be so
This
rough.
was sketchy. I don't know about this.
Winter Bach.
I mean box are normally pretty decent.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. I mean, that's a nice head. It's a nice head.
It's
You know
nice.
what's good head when it's craggly? If it's like straight head, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I mean I normally prefer like little gurgle too.
That's a pretty fucking good winter block, man.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is this, Minhas? What are you doing in that secret laboratory of yours?
They're focused on the head.
This is, dude, what's so crazy about this place? I'm going to share my screen so people on the tubes can see.
On the tube.
This is what's so weird about this place. Look at all these fucking, like, you go to images. Are you seeing the
Yeah,
images?
it just popped up.
They're all like stock photo images.
These, yeah, are we sure this is not like a front?
Like, what is that shit?
They have a hard root beer.
Like, what is this? Are these just must be the owners or
Dragon Dens Canada. I don't know about this place.
I don't know either, but hey, they make some pretty good fucking beer. Like, good for them. This, I don't know. She's looking like a boss bitch right now. Like, she's
She
like, yeah,
is.
I make really good fucking beer.
But the other guy just looks a little lost.
He's like, I'm married into this beer family.
Into the beer company. She's the brains. She's the money. She's everything here.
Huh. Well, whatever it is, she makes pretty good fucking beer. So, or they, but it's probably her. It seems like she's
She
making.
seems like the successful one, yes.
So, let's dig into Sindermann's storyline.
What the fuck was that storyline?
I am so
Because
confused.
the end of it made no fucking sense to me. I was like, wait, what the fuck is happening right now?
I'm lost. Like I'm just drastically lost on everything.
I don't even know where this went. Like it like showed up super early. We had like 4 chapters of it, and like it was gone for like 60%,
Yeah.
and then it
Like,
was randomly back, and I was like, what the fuck happened?
yeah, like nothing occurred for a majority of this book. Like to the point where like in the preview, I was like, oh yeah, this storyline. And you were like, fuck, I completely forgot about that storyline.
There's a reason because it never appears until like the last 3 chapters. And I'm pretty sure John French was like, oh fuck. I wrote about Sindermann.
Not only does this storyline do that, but it also makes like absolutely no sense. Like nothing about
No.
the storyline like adds up to any sort of conclusion in any way that's like satisfying. Like it's a tough fucking story.
Yeah.
So
And
how
what
does this
happened?
start?
Because I don't know.
How does this start? Basically, like
It
people are
starts with Sinderman going or being with what's her face from the Selenar, and they coming
Andromeda.
up with this idea that they need to lie about the Emperor to
Let,
spread like faith.
let's go backwards. This girl named Mauer is like a police officer, and she keeps having to kill a bunch of people for doing crazy shit. And it seemed like for a while that this storyline was being closely tied to this, like the all Pearson storyline, where like the Emperor's children, who are the bad guys in this book, by the way, which is weird, but it's like super fucking weird since they're all gone. The Emperor's children, like, basically created or left like a bunch of like demon mommies running around, and they're like creating like a paradise for people, and people are like thinking about it and then killing people or whatever the fuck is going on. So Mara's like, we got to deal with this. So she teams up with Andromeda 17, which is like, of course, duh, perfect person for the
Yep.
job. And then they reach out to Sinderman, and Sinderman's like, ah, I have a plan. We all have a plan. We all know what has to be done. What can you explain to me what the plan was?
So originally, I thought they were going to use the Saint to spread the word of the Emperor in order to empower him. But I don't think that's actually what they were doing. It was like this like weird like lie thing that like he's not a god, but like the Emperor's like totally cool.
I thought for a second, and this just may be my interpretation of this incredibly vague. John French does such a good job writing vagueness. um, Plan.
Well, I'm pretty sure this
Just
book actually did nothing.
it did absolutely like there's a whole
If this book never happened, I don't think I would have noticed.
yeah, no, I agree. So I think the plan is not to make the Emperor God, but to make what's her face, Keeler, a saint. Like they want people to worship Keeler.
That doesn't make any fucking sense. What the fuck does that accomplish?
I have no idea. Like I am completely lost on like what they were trying to do.
Yeah, I agree.
And to make matters even worse, they meet with Keeler, and there's a fucking custodian in this jail cell, by the way. And Andromeda 17 is there. And so is this weird fucking laboratory guy we talked about last book,
Yep.
who has this like plan to destroy all the space marines with a virus, essentially.
Yep.
Which sounds like a good idea, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it gets rid of all space marines, maybe the Emperor himself.
Yeah, I'd be down for it. Sign it.
What I heard anything.
No. And basically, it gets so weird. So at the end of this, like they agree And the custodian is like, I'll only agree to this if you don't spread the word of the emperor. And I was like, oh, that's going to be a big problem. And they were like, that's not a problem. I'm like, what? What are you doing? I'm like way more confused. And then they leave, but you get that like then that's when you have like 3/4 of the book that doesn't mention them.
Yeah.
And then you get this scene where it's Mauer and she's like, we gotta move the saint and we may be getting betrayed. And they start getting attacked by like space marines. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
I don't know what was going on. And fucking what's her face from the Selenars going to kill the guy, the gene guy, because she was programmed genetically to want to kill him.
But she
He
didn't.
makes bad things.
But she didn't. So that was the concept behind this whole thing. What's even more confusing. So Andromeda 17 and the Selenar program like hate into their genes for this individual person because he's like a gene guru and he's evil or yada yada yada.
Gene guru.
But she pretended to do that, revealed that like the guard at the Blackstone Fortress was actually under her will / command. And by the way, this man had this whole like sub storyline where he was attempting to genetically remodify the guard. Genetically modify. I don't know if you remodify. Genetically modify the guard through like language. I'm like, that's not a thing. Yeah, okay. And
that's
she
how
like
genetics
goes,
work, dude. What do you mean? You say words and it just changes.
duh, his genes are changed.
I was born blonde. And
Did
then
you know?
my mom said like 5 words and it just turned super dark brown. It was weird.
In the 40K universe, talking to other people gives you autism, apparently. Like, what is this? So she doesn't go to kill him, though. In the end, it's revealed that she frees him. And the reasoning, this is what kills me about John French. The reasoning is she says survival. What the fuck does that mean, Kobe Bryant? What does that mean? Why did she free him?
Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't make any sense.
I hope you're as
The
confused.
whole
as
thing made no sense to me. The whole storyline was like, well, why was this here?
I don't understand it. I don't understand the religious aspect. I don't understand Andromeda 17's aspect. I don't understand like half of this shit that's going on with this storyline. And it's the second half.
Yeah.
That was a rough one.
That was a rough one.
Let's talk about your favorite storyline.
I liked it until the end. So we got old Pearson. And boy, what a roller coaster that was.
It's fucking rough. The ending was rough.
I don't understand. Also, Trainwreck, what the fuck? Alferis is not even mentioned until the fucking end of this book.
Oh, is
like,
that who he spoiled?
Yes. And I'm like, what?
Oh, bro, you haven't
Literally
gone
the
to
last like
Paris?
30 fucking pages is when the name's even mentioned once.
You haven't even got to Alfarius, bro?
Yeah, no, what the fuck are you talking about? No, that is the end of the book.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know where to begin with all storylines all over the fucking place. So he starts in the desert at a different time, but he makes it to the right time.
What, wrong place?
So he walks through a desert like Shiban.
Yep.
And then what happens? Explain to me.
Paradise? Which Paradise is even more confusing. Also, if they were gonna have Emperor's children here, you know what would have been really cool? Like, who should be here?
Lucius.
Lucius. Of all the fucking people, right? Like, the one person that we've been like, where the fuck is Lucius? Where is the only fucking Emperor's children that has meant anything to the storyline? Where's he at? Oh, I don't know. He built his own fucking castle in the middle of a desert and has tricked people into thinking it's fucking paradise. That's a very Lucius thing to do.
That would be hilarious.
And like he shows up and his people, and he's like, "Oh, can you fucking fight?" And if they can't fight, he kills them. Like that's his thing.
It would be hilarious if he just showed up like at the end and he was like, "Oh, it's just humans. Like not even worth my fight. Like I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
I'm out of here." That would have been way. That would be hilarious. Like Lucius just simply lets them leave because it's too boring to him to even lift a finger to fight them.
yeah. I just don't understand. Like, so they get to this paradise area,
Can you
and
explain real
yeah, good.
quick? All like passes out, right? At some point. How when
Yeah,
what happened there?
he dreamt, and it was him talking to John.
So at one point he's like walking into this like city garden thing, I would say. But he gets
Yeah.
distracted by a Chaos Space Marine and starts like walking towards it. And then he just like passes out. And he wakes up just like in a garden.
Yes, and I just I don't know what the fuck happened. This whole though honestly, all these storylines, I was just like, what? Why? Like it was almost like John started writing. I was like, huh, I actually had to finish these stories. It's just real random shit.
It's also like incredibly heavily implied throughout this entire book that all is Odysseus from the Odyssey. Like it's like talked about so often.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Like it's talking about how he was at the Lotus Gardens. Like he compares every single like thing that he comes to the Odyssey, greatly inferring that all is Odysseus, which is funny as a concept.
Yeah.
And then we get the fact he finds John, but he gets put into a eternal slumber from these plants.
I was so confused by this part because at first I was like, where the fuck is Lee 2 during all this?
Yeah, he got beat by plants apparently.
He's just like actually behind John, behind more plants. It's like, wait a minute. What?
Leetu's a garbage space marine. He's
No
actually
wonder no one missed him.
well, legionary
He's like
man.
the
No.
super prototype. Like, we didn't want that. Like, it can't even fucking cut down a plant.
So him and John like dream together because the plants are stealing people's precious secrets. That's what's been said. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? I'm so confused. But anyway, they're dreaming. And this dream, this is what kills me so much about John French's writing. It's supposed to be like this big reveal aha moment that blows the reader's mind, but like I don't fucking like I'm confused.
Well, I don't know what's supposed to blow my mind here because it made no fucking sense.
Basically, we get this understanding that John and the Emperor were tight.
No. All in the Emperor.
Yeah, all in the Emperor. Sorry, all in the Emperor were tight, and all in the Emperor were responsible for the destruction of the Tower of Babel, which
Yep.
is like a Bible thing.
Yep.
And the Tower of Babel in this universe was responsible for like teaching everyone a language that writes the universe.
I guess. Like it seemed to me like you know how like whenever they like say like the demon's name, like it's supposed to have like power over them, like something like that sort of language.
I cannot wait to like 2 books from now when John fucking finds the Rosetta Stone. And it's like a very important part to the story. That's what I kept thinking. Like, son of a bitch, the fucking Rosetta Stone.
It finally makes sense.
So it's revealed that there's so many confusing parts to this to me. The Emperor is just at this point like a powerful psyker, and so is all. And when they get to the tower, they try to destroy it, but the Emperor is like, "No, we need to use it for our own power." And All's like, "No, we can't do that." So there's so many confusing things that happen here. All kills the Emperor.
Tries to.
And then the Emperor, let me make sure I understand this, uses the language to make himself and all a perpetual.
I don't know.
That's kind of what I got, because the Emperor was going down this angle of like, oh, but we can't change the world if we don't live forever.
Yeah.
That's what made sense to me. And then it was revealed like this huge moment. No, crazy shit. All's like, I wasn't just the Emperor's friend. I was his war master.
I was his best friend.
Like it was supposed to be like this weird connection. Like all was a war master. John was like freaking out, and I'm like, sure, like I don't like. Why does that matter?
Yeah. I mean, Hull's been around for a long fucking time, all right? I mean, he's seen combat. Like, no one should be surprised here.
There's this like concept that's like it's a cyclical thing. So all was the old Horus, and I'm like, yeah, but like, who gives it? Like, what does it
All
matter?
retired, man. He's the detective now. He's the one that got dragged out of retirement, smoking his cig. Like the Emperor's fucking shit up again. All right, I'm coming.
I haven't heard that name in years. So I have no idea like what the significance of all being the past war master is in any way, shape, or form. I don't think it matters.
I also don't understand like why, like as readers, we care that much. Like sure, like I guess like we want to like connect the perpetuals to the Emperor, like his like grand plan, but what makes even less sense is like we know that John's not a real perpetual. So like what is his actual like part here? Like I would rather know like how Ol got involved in the cabal.
Yeah, and like I would have loved a lot more clarity around like what the Emperor used this language to do, because that's completely unclear. It's clear that he used the language. Is that what made him a perpetual? And like, is that what made all a perpetual? Did the Emperor and all then make the other perpetuals? And like this language is super confusing. And yeah, why did all get involved in the cabal in the first place?
Are words why the Emperor's so strong? Because he has like super advanced language.
So, this dude has like an A+ in all of his language classes. It's fucking powerful, bro. The entire Horus Heresy is actually a lesson that language is powerful.
Yeah.
So then the weird thing too is like John being the linguistic guy that he is, and I know for a fact this is why John French like wrote this thing into existence, is because of John's power. Then like memorizes this language. And like the most frustrating part about this book is every time he speaks it, it's just like a dash. It's
Yeah.
just a dash. Like it won't tell you like what he's saying because it's like not a language you would know, I guess. But I'm like, what? It's so silly. So all and John wake up. John now has this entire the world ending language in his mind that he can use at any point in time. Automatically becomes like the most powerful character in the universe. Like I'm pretty sure with this language could unwrite the universe potentially. I don't fucking know. Who
Yeah.
knows? Um, but they go and try and find Balrain, who has been seduced by an Emperor's Children demon. Another one, another demon has appeared from the Emperor's Children.
Well, hey man, when they got like 7 titties, it's hard to reject that.
Yeah. He's like, I've been looking for titties my whole life, and now I have
It's
7
like,
of
look,
them.
guys, I'm like 21. All right. And my first wife disappeared. So I need tits.
Yeah, her face is a little fucked up and she's got crab claws for arms, but
But tits.
so they fight a fucking demon. It kills Balrain, which is actually kind of depressing because I liked Balrain. At this point in the story, I'm more annoyed with All than almost any other character that's with him. Like I really like All's little troop there.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, but then John kills the demon with the the word, the dash word.
Yeah.
And then the weirdest fucking thing happens.
Which part?
This is when the fucking girl shows up.
Yeah, the fucking chick from the word pairs.
The word pair is perpetual thing.
Yeah, I
The
don't,
blind lady.
and I just, I don't understand
I'm
why.
also incredibly lost. She says a lot of shit that equivalated
Just like equals, man.
equaled nothing.
Yeah. Other than, yeah, like I'm kind of on Horus's side, but I'm actually on humanity's side.
That's
And
what she
those are
said.
not the
She's like,
same sides.
so I'm not on the Emperor's side, and like I'm not really on Horus's side, but I'm on like the side, and we have a plan. And All's like, yeah, like I totally agree with that plan. I understand the plan. And I'm like, fucking explain it to me.
John's like, yo, don't trust that bitch. John's also really fucked up because he spoke the words from Ole's memory, which did like some crazy shit, like beat the fuck out of himself.
Yeah.
Which is even more confusing because like John's on his last life. You think he would be really conservative on what the fuck he did.
Yeah.
He
And not
also
only that,
mentions that he's a perpetual again. He's like, they're like, she's like one of us. You're not a perpetual anymore, John. So she's not one of you.
I also love that John is kind of like taking the place for the reader right now, where the John's like, hey, what's the fucking plan? And All's like, the plan is the plan, John, and we have to get to the place to do a thing. And John's like, that literally tells me fucking nothing. I have absolutely no idea like what you're wanting to do right now. And All's like, it just is what it is. And I don't know if like the reader is supposed to like guess what the plan is or guess what
Yeah.
the fuck this
I don't
girl
know.
wants to do. I got no idea. I'm like fucking lost. I've read every single book in the Horse Heresy. I've got no fucking idea what this bitch wants to do.
Yeah.
But that's not even the only person that shows up.
Yeah. Alfarius pops up here. End of the book, train wreck, you piece of shit.
What the fuck was that? Like,
Also, it's not Alfarius because Alfarius is dead. But
presumably.
also, what was the point?
Is it
This
Omegon?
see, it could just be any Oblate in there because they all call themselves Alfarius.
It's true. And I'm like, what does he want? And why does it align? So, like, at one point, like, my thought process was like, oh, she was kidnapped by the Cabal. Alfarius abandoned the Cabal, but Omegon liked the Cabal. So, clearly, they must be trying to do the Cabal thing and kill the Emperor. But then at one point, she's like, fuck the Cabal. The Cabal's plan's stupid. And I'm like, what are we doing? Like, then what's the fucking thing? Like, what is it that Omegon and this blind chick and all Pearson all want to accomplish at the same time? I feel like I'm playing like fucking Jeopardy right now. Like, what is the answer? I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It was the story,
I
and
have
it
zero
sucked.
predictions. So much of this, like, is fucking Luther on Terra? Who is on Terra that matters? Why the fuck does Omegon slash Alfarius slash maybe neither one of them give a shit about what this word bearers chick wants and why what the fuck does she want and what is all gonna do and what does this language have to do with it? Who fucking knows? Is Legio Solario alive? You probably won't get a fucking answer to that. And
Why didn't
what the fuck is
Sanguinius poke fucking the DSI right in the fucking eye?
why didn't he do that? It should have been so easy for him.
This would not have been even been a book. It would have been done.
What the fuck does Andromeda 17 want? What is her fucking goals? Like you're giving me literally nothing about like what to expect from characters' action. This is like terrible as a reader. So I'm like,
It's a
you could literally
long
do anything.
book that literally accomplished nothing. Like no storyline is like really tied up. There's no story that's really progressed either.
It's such a vague book that like makes characters' motives even more confusing. And that's so frustrating because as a reader, I'm like, I literally, like, as a writer, that's great for you. Like, congratulations, you just made your life incredibly easy because you could literally write anything and be like, that was their motive.
Yeah.
Because, like, you basically establish like characters are null, like they have no growth, they have no concept, they have no motive, and that's like writer's wonderland because you can literally do whatever you want. But as a reader, it's boring as shit. Like I don't give a fuck about Andromeda 17 now because I have no idea what the fuck she wants. I don't know idea what the fuck all wants. Like all as a character has kind of been ruined for me from this book. I don't fucking know what he wants. Like I thought he wanted to save the Emperor and kill Horus. Now I don't fucking know.
Yeah. It all this book did was give more questions to questions, but made dumber questions.
Yeah, like a lot of these questions didn't exist before this book, and now those questions exist. Like I'm really glad that they brought in the word bearer chick. But like, what a terrible way to do it. Like they're
Yeah, I agree.
like the idea of like bringing her in, but like being like she wants something, but you don't know. Like, what is this? A fucking D&D campaign? What I'm supposed to roll for insight? Like, I'm reading a book here. I don't know. I'm clearly upset about it. It's such a bad experience as a reader, and this is such a slap in the face to like this book is such a slap in the face to the rest of Horus Heresy, in my opinion.
Yeah, it kind of just shits on like established characters we have by doing nothing with their stories. We like what the fuck is Keeler's story? No idea. Like this is supposed to be like a character that she's one of the original characters we were ever introduced to. Like there should be a very compelling story for her.
Yeah,
Whatever the fuck is happening right now, I have no idea, but it's not compelling.
like how
Um,
frustrating is it to be like, imagine storyboarding this to be like, Keeler and Sindermann do a thing to stop a thing, and all teams up with this girl because she wants a thing, and now they're gonna do a thing. And it's like, oh, okay, I can't wait for you to flesh it out more. And it's like, no, that's it. That's what I'm writing.
yeah.
Great. Phenomenal. And Shiban walks through a desert and Titans throw fireballs at each other.
And
That's
Guy
the
Haley is not next, so that none of those had to get tied up somewhere.
keys.
Yeah, I'm very interested in where Garo starts off now because I mean, apparently Garo is supposed to happen before Warhawk, which makes me even more concerned about like where things are. Because last time we saw Garo, he was doing the fights for Dorn, fought the Mournable.
Technically, last time we saw Garo, he was joined by the Salamanders, who
Oh
probably will
yeah,
never be mentioned again.
those guys are gone. Don't even exist. They aren't real people.
They died
Salamanders aren't real.
off the books. Not even worth mentioning.
Vulcan's still upset that he brought 3.
Should have just brought one, the one that died. That's all that matters. Oh man. And here's the thing, like personally, I do think this is the worst book of the siege so far.
I feel like it didn't accomplish anything, but I think like listening slash reading it, I enjoyed it more than Solar War.
I'd rather read Solar War, hands down. Like
Solar War shorter and had a purpose, or this doesn't, but like I'm more intrigued by the characters here.
yeah, but the problem is like it also fucks up the characters.
It does.
It's
It's not a good book.
like Solar War was like tough to get through And this was like kind of ruined the rest of the siege for me in a sense. Like unless some other author
It's
like
so
reels this
long.
shit back in, like I'm like, fuck, like what is happening? Like what is even going on? And
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like it's so vague and establishes nothing and only makes more questions. Where Solar War was like, we got to get through this shit. So let's go point A, point B, do
Yeah,
it.
that's fair. It's not good. I
Yeah.
don't recommend it. It's
Skip it.
I hate to say I think it's actually slightly better than what I was expecting. Because I was expecting only Titan battles. We had a little more than Titan battles. We had like established characters and like things I cared about. They just went to shit immediately.
Yeah, at the end, I was like, holy fuck, like what even is
Like I
going
was
on?
really an old story until the last bit of his story. And I was like, what the fuck is going on now?
Yeah. 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 I'm hoping that the next two authors can really rein some things back in.
Yeah, I agree.
But
We'll
we'll
see.
see. The last three books are written by Dan, so maybe it doesn't even matter because Dan just
Well,
kind of
there's
writes
gonna be
what
like
the fuck he
7 more,
wants.
so it doesn't matter.
Oh god,
We're gonna be dead before the horse heresy ends.
I fucking hope not.
Of
Like
old
please,
age, not of
please,
anything else. It will be old age. Like someone will have to pick up Dan's work.
God, please just give me 3 volumes of the end of the death and let's end it there. Like in this
I would
fucking
have preferred probably one.
well, one would have been fine, but now we're in this scenario. I'm like, let this be the last fucking one, volume 3.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't have high hopes. But hey, whatever. We'll get to it when we get to it. Next, we have our preview for Garo. As always, guys, hit us up on. All right, I get before that. What are your ratings, Gavin?
Oh my gosh. I'd give it a 2 on enjoyment.
Oh, that's bad. I
It
was
was
gonna give
bad.
it a 4.
I'd give it a 2. I couldn't stand this book. I was dying. There were literally moments where I put the book down. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah,
Um,
it was not cohesive.
Importance to the heresy, like
0
probably
because I don't know if it matters. I mean, they could have said X wall was taken, and I've been like, sure, I thought that was taken 3 books ago.
yeah, probably like a 4. Like Keeler breaks out, all and John are
Doesn't
back
even really
together.
break out though. They kind of just a letter out.
Yeah, but like if you didn't have this book, she's out. Right? She was in, now she's out. Like, I'm saying
Yeah,
like if
but
you
also like I
skip
don't think
this
her
book.
story's ever gonna go anywhere, so it's like does it
True.
matter?
All and John are back together, and the fucking word bearers girl is here, and now Alfarius is there. Like, if you skip this book, you'd be like, "What the fuck is happening with All's storyline?"
But also you'd probably be like, yeah, that probably makes sense.
I mean, that is probably the most important part, and also like Shiban just being alive. I feel like that'd be really frustrating to just like go into Warhawk after he died in
But you,
Sindermann.
yeah, well, you also don't even want to go do Warhawk. Apparently, you want to do Garo first
Yeah, well, but still,
because
I
Garo books have to fuck up everything.
bug of all the order. I'd give like there are storylines that like you would need to know, but they're written so like it's so frustrating because like the storyline could be 150 pages and you only need to read 5 of them to understand what's going on.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's frustrating. This book was a tough one for me, and
Yeah, I
hopefully it
agree.
gets better.
Wasn't good. I give it a 4 though. It wasn't amazing. Wasn't good either, but I don't think it's too worthy. It's not fucking Mark of Cows.
I hate it. I could not stand this book. I don't want to like I don't want to shit on John French because I feel like John French just gets like the shittiest books to write.
I don't
Like
know, man. Praetorian Dorm was really good.
Praetorian was really good. That's what I'm saying. Like he writes good novels, but when they're like, John, we need you to write a book about space battle over Terra. John, we need you to write a book about Titan battles on Earth. And I'm like, fuck, like what terrible.
I still think Guy Haley normally gets the shit into the stick. He always just tie up all the other authors' bullshit.
Yeah, that's true. Guy Haley does a very good job with that though. And like I just feel like John French, like I feel like this is a tough one to write. I just don't understand why he made the decisions. I don't know if like they got in an author's room and they're like Alfarius, All Pearson, and this other girl, they're all gonna be together at some point. And they're like, John, figure that out. And John's like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. But okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like almost like I want to give them like the benefit of the doubt, but also at the same time, it's like I don't know you personally, so maybe you just fucking don't have it together. I don't know.
I don't know. This was a rough one. Like nothing against John, but this might be one of my least favorite books in the entire Horus Heresy.
The thing is, to like we went into it knowing we weren't gonna enjoy it a lot, just
It
from the cover. The
yeah.
thing is, like Titan stuff is only like half of it.
The
It's
problem
the
is
other stuff too that's not good.
the other storylines, like not only were they like kind of mediocre, but they ruined the other characters. Like
To
that
be fair though,
sucks.
I finished this book and I didn't finish Angel Exterminatus, so it's got that one beat.
Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, Graham and the Warp is a rough relationship.
Oh my god, could you imagine a collab?
John and Graham.
Yeah, just a fucking the space Titan battle.
But and the warp is like a big deal in it. Like it's
Yeah,
all
and like, for
side
whatever
titan.
reason, the warp fucks them all in the ass.
And that's like 100 pages of adjectives
Yes.
to describe the warp. So big, unimaginably, non-Euclidean geometry big.
It hurts in the look at, but their ass, it feels great, but it also hurts.
It also, it's literally inexplainable. Great. I'm so glad that's a thing.
Yeah.
But we're
Uh,
coming down. We're
yep,
coming down. Few books left.
that's it. So guys, next week we might preview review Garo. I don't know. We'll see how the two of us line up.
Probably it's like 70 pages. So hopefully,
Say
but we'll
70
see.
pages, but 70 pages can be a lot of pages sometimes.
It's,
Depends on the week.
it's true. It is more than 60.
Yeah, I mean we both work a decent amount, so you never know. We promise we will talk about Garo next week. So as always, guys, hit us up on Discord. Find that pinned to our Twitter at Heresy Lodge. Email us at theheresiolodge@gmail.com. Check us out on YouTube at The Heresy Lodge. Buy some merch. Or, I mean, I guess you don't have to buy, but check it out at least. I don't know.
Look at it.
Oh, we will have a giveaway. We did receive some new models to go out to you guys. One of them broke during transit. I will have to glue that together, but they look great. I will post pictures in the Discord, put them in the announcements. Same thing as last time. Like it, and we'll fucking do a drawing. That's the easiest way. I'm too lazy to do anything else.
That was good.
All right, guys, have a good one.